Hi, my name is Reagan Clement, and I am back with Becoming a Woman Who Can Follow Through. A woman who follows through. That's the main complaint of I bought this routine, or I tried this workout, or I started to budget, or my husband and I said we were going to go on date night, and whatever it is, we're not able to follow through. And we need to understand what it takes to be able to do it. So we've talked about the first three parts of this. We've talked about getting a clear vision of what we want. We've talked about being ready for the mental resistance that will inevitably come when you start doing something good. We've talked about how to create an action plan and follow through, really celebrate those small wins and stay focused. And today we're going to talk about accountability. Now, accountability has a lot of misunderstandings around it. The main thing that I think of when I think of accountability, and this is why I really just didn't want to touch it for a long time, is because when I think of accountability, I think of those extreme weight loss shows that were on TV many years ago. Maybe they're still on TV, I don't know. But there were these extreme weight loss shows where it's people who are trying to lose like over 100 pounds. They have this big long journey ahead of them, and they have a trainer like really like practically living with them, controlling what they eat, meeting them at the gym every day, checking in on them, and being really intense, right? Like very intense. It makes for good TV, but it makes for a terrible idea of what accountability is. Instead of thinking of accountability as this mean trainer that's forcing you to work out at 5 a.m., let's switch it. And what is accountability really? What is the type of accountability that we need in order to be able to follow through? I want you to think about the line of soldiers. Think about some war movie, and you see the line of soldiers about to charge and go fight. And they're very nervous, and they're being built up by the leader who's like riding the horse in front and reminding them of why they're about to give their lives. And there's someone holding the flag of their nation, who is, and he's like the symbol. He's carrying the symbol of all these people believe, and everything that's on the line for them in this moment. And it's all wrapped up in that flag. And that's accountability. Accountability is when you're down, when you're fighting, when you're scared during this battle, look for the flag and don't forget. Don't forget all the things that we know to be true. And you can see it when you look at the flag. This is the idea of accountability. It's someone to hold the flag of what you believe. What you believe is worth working for. Because let's say you decide, okay, I really want to get out of debt and start building wealth. I want to communicate with my spouse about this and start budgeting better. I want to really take on my finances. Okay, let's do it. Do you think there's going to be a time when this feels like a battle? Or are you just magically going to have all of your financial dreams come true? It's going to be a battle. It's going to be hard. And there are going to be days when you want to quit. And you need someone to hold the flag for you and draw you back. You need someone to remind you of all the things that were important about why you said you wanted to change your finances. Why is this important? What kind of impact will this have on your life? And that's accountability. Accountability is the person who holds the flag for you when you are too tired to carry on. And when you think about it, all of the most successful people have accountability. Think about the Olympic athletes. They have a whole team of support around them. Think about Oscar winners. Think about Pulitzer Prize. Think about incredible authors. I was just studying Maya Angelou's her routine and what her day looked like. Let's look at all of these successful people and go, did they really do it by themselves, or did they have a team of support? Did they have accountability around them in order to fight these really important and epic battles to become who they became? All of the best, most successful people have accountability. And sometimes we think, because of our culture, we think we kind of need to like pull on your own bootstraps, or however we say, the bootstrapping up, where we pull ourselves up. We do that. We pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps. These are like really deeply entrenched ideas in our culture that we do it by ourselves. And the only reason that I have really truly unlearned this is because I have learned that God created me for community. And so even though my brain says you need to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, you can't depend on other people. In fact, my brain says don't be a burden to them. They have enough on their own plate. You should be helping them and not asking anyone to help you. That's my whisper in my head. And I don't know what your whisper is. I don't know why you are avoiding letting people hold you accountable to your dreams. But no one at the top got there alone. In order to take my whole life up and become who God's called me to be, I've got to have some help. I've got to have some flag bearers. So accountability is flag bearers. It's someone who holds a flag, and no one truly successful gets there alone. Now, there are two types of accountability. One is having this friend or partnership where you can just ask them to check in on your specific needs. Another one is having a mentor or coach who brings you back to your vision, your action plan, someone who can recognize it if you're starting to sabotage yourself and say, oh, hang on, and remind you of the truth. Someone who can hear you starting to doubt, and they can remind you of your own conviction, your passion, your evidence of God's amazing plans for your life. You need both types of accountability. So your homework this week, the challenge for you, is to really start thinking about who do you have in your life who can fill the role of accountability partner. Accountability looks like this. You call a person, you explain the role that you're looking for, kind of explain what we've talked about here. You can even send them this video, and then ask if they will consider stepping up for you. It should take 5 minutes per week. No more than 5 minutes per week. This is not a friendly phone call. It's not one of those that's like goes on and we're sharing about all of our personal things. That's not what this is. In fact, if you choose a friend who you like to chat with, separate them. This is a 5-minute or less phone call every week at the same time. And it's like this. Hey, Amy, it's Thursday. I'm checking in with you to get an update on how many days this week you walked. You said your goal was 30 minutes a day for 7 days. How many days did you get 30 minutes in this week? Amy might say 5. Okay, good job. Do you want to keep the same goal for next week, or do you want to switch it up? I'll keep the same goal. Okay, great. I'll call you next Thursday at 2 p.m. Bye. And that's it. Your coach is going to say something like, hey, Amy, how was your week? We have an hour. And Amy might say, you know what? I've had some successes. Let me tell you about those. And I've had some roadblocks. I did really hit this one hurdle here while I was working on my goals, and it just really waylaid me. Okay, awesome. Let's start with gratitude. Let's go into the positive stuff first. Really solidify our belief in gratitude and what God has done for you this week. And then let's go back into your dream, your action plan, what we're working toward, and see where that obstacle hit and see if we can't work through that. It might be a mindset shift that needs to happen. It might be a new skill that needs to be learned, and we'll just see together. But your coach knows you, and they know the difference. When you ask someone for advice who doesn't know all the specifics and the ins and outs, you can get some really bad advice, because what works for me, it is not going to work for you. What works for me, someone who doesn't always communicate their needs, someone who has a tendency to stay quiet until they're very resentful and angry. I don't need to hear advice to be calm, be quiet, just take it, don't say anything. But you might be someone who steamrolls people, and everyone always knows how you're feeling. And for you, you might need different advice. You might need to say your coach might need to say, let's think about that. Let's think about that. Is that your tendency? And so they can really help you tell the difference between as right and wrong for you and your specific situation, your specific proclivities, your tendencies, your personality, your family, your goals. It's very specific to you, and that's different. So accountability part one is to find this friend and partner who can hold you accountable to a very specific action, like did you walk? Did you type in your receipts into your budget? Did you have that hard conversation with your husband? Your coach is going to ask you for the big things. That's what you save the advice. You save that for your coach. So this week, I want to challenge you to look for both in your life. I want you to look for the person who can help you design your life, really dream and create the action plan. Find your coach. Find that high level mentor who can really help you become the next level of who you are. And then also, I want you to look around you and ask one person to become your accountability partner. Just 5 minutes a week, same time. Just give me that 5 minute call and ask me the question. Hold the flag for me. Can you do it? Just watch how different your life is in 30 days. We were not designed to do this alone. We were designed to have help. We were designed for encouragement. We are worthy of encouragement. And doing this alone is not, we're not going to win any badges or any trophies for doing it alone. In fact, we're greater chance of success, of being a woman who can follow through, of really achieving these beautiful goals that God has set before us. Well, we have a better chance of winning if we will let others in, invite them to be part of the journey, and openly recognize today that we need support, that we're worthy of support. So I wish you the best as you wrestle with your own worthiness of building a support team, an accountability team, and then as you reach out to people and you look for the right people in your life.